You're listening to Dark Conversations, where we talk about the things that keep us up at night.
Where horror, paranormal, and crime collide together. Nothing is ever quite what it seems.
Tonight, we are stepping into the dark, so turn your lights off.
Get comfortable and
let's dive into the abyss.
Should we technically tell them what happened?
Well, that's up to you, but this is technically our first episode, but second.
Yeah, so we recorded one a few nights ago, but I forgot to hit record. Well, I did hit record, but it didn't. The voice didn't record. So, yeah.
She muted the mic.
I muted the mic before we started.
So this is technically our first episode.
Yeah, sorry. Anyway, we're Dark Conversations. As you heard from the little thing we did just now.
You're not going to keep going?
Oh.
You sound like you were going to keep going.
I know! We just want to do this for fun, so if you guys enjoy it, watch it. If you don't be dicks and say anything. Just leave. That's the easiest option for you.
But what we do is we pretty much come up with topics, we put it in a box, and we draw 2 out for every episode we do. And this episode, we're going to be talking about the Pigman from Vermont, which is also known as Sam Harris.
I got way too excited to do this, and then we researched him, and I was like, oh no. Oh.
And then we also are doing urban legends. I picked the state, Oklahoma.
I picked Rhode Island.
So let's
dive in.
Yeah. Okay, so you want to start?
Since he was mine, I will start. So Sam Harris is considered the Northfield Pigman. He went missing at 17 in 1951 in Vermont. That is basically all of the information that I wrote down on his background. But I kind of remember, like, he was considered kind of mischievous. And, like, he was going for a night of picket, I think it was called. And, like, they just disappeared and nobody saw him. They sent search parties out, couldn't find him. And then, like, 10 years later was his first sighting. And he was naked. He appeared out of nowhere to a bunch of high schooler kids who were getting drunk behind a school. And they ran off. And that was...
you're definitely missing information.
That was the information that I got off of Wiki.
You can't always trust what Wiki says.
I know you can't. But that was all my information on his backstory that I got. Because I got some... I have white hair, wears pig faces. Oh my god, that's actually all of the things that I have on my freaking notes. Oh, he is said to lay with the pigs and have little piglet babies.
This is what I have. First off, he's found in what they call the Devil's Wash Bowl.
Oh yeah, I have
in Vermont. Also, one thing you didn't know, but you're the one that told me, is that that's where Minecraft got their pigs from.
Yeah, he's the from what I saw, he's the inspiration for the pigmen in Minecraft.
Very interesting. They kind of look very similar when you look at the pictures.
Yeah, it was kind of creepy, kind of gross.
But I have that he has some hair.
White hair. I have that too.
Yes. And he... Well, actually, once it said white hair because it didn't elaborate anymore after that for a little bit. So my first thought was, isn't this just a Yeti? And then of course, after a while of looking, it said they found hoofs around the areas.
Yeah, I didn't get that in my research. So, that's interesting.
Yeah, I told you I researched. Anyways, so, of course, he's not a Yeti. But
I did get that he is related to something else. I think I wrote it down.
Well, there's two things that they think this is. They think it's either someone wearing a pig mask, like they hollowed out the pig and they wore it as a mask.
Which brings me to my question, which we'll get back to in just a second.
Okay, or they say that it is an actual pig head on a man's body, and it's its own, like, living thing.
There was some other cryptoid that he was said to be kind of intertwined with. Let me look it up real quick.
Okay, well, while you look that up, see, in my thought, once I seen that it's a pig head on a man's body, actually, I mean, it's the hollowed out part, and it's suspect to be Sam Harris. Because the information you left out was that right after he disappeared, sightings of a pig man was reported in the exact area he was known to disappear from. Which is why his name is called Sam Harris, because they thought it was him.
Mm-hmm.
But my first thought after that was, is that where Saw got their inspiration for the pig girl? Looked it up? No, not at all. It's just part of her backstory. It has nothing to do with anything else.
Okay, so I'm just going to read what Cryptid Wiki is saying. Like she said, you can't really trust Wikipedia, but this is kind of...
Take with a grain of salt.
Sam Harris... Ooh... Sam Harris is most likely just a Halloween story, but some believe it could be a wood woes or Bigfoot. If it is real, it could potentially be the same species as the pigman of Kenneck Chase, which we will eventually get into Kenneck Chase pigman. But he's basically the same thing from what I was reading when I did some more.
From where? What state?
Let me look. England. It's not...
Oh, then maybe that's the one I have in my notes.
Yeah, that one's from England, so it's like a cousin type thing.
Well, it's also said that when they see the creature, it is 7 to 8 feet tall. And it's known to eat pig. And most of the time they never find the head of the pig, or they never find he either takes the pigs of the heads, hang on.
Heads of pigs?
Yeah.
We got what you were saying.
Or the pig heads were found in a completely different location.
Which leads me to my question of, what if Sam Harris didn't go missing back in 1951 when he went missing? What if he just hit his head and he really did, like, you hear stories all the time of people hitting their head and changing their personalities. We were talking about that earlier today. And he just kind of went insane and decided that he wanted to be a pig.
No, I don't see that happening.
Are you going to elaborate more or just, like, completely shut me down?
No, I'm just going to shut you down.
Okay. But, I mean, like, really think about it. Because, like, obviously those kids saw something. People are talking about it. It's not...
Yeah, but people
And
still
they
say they see sightings and stuff. And there's no way...
If he went missing in 1951, he could still be alive.
As a very old man.
Willie Nelson is 76. He was born in 1933.
And you think he's going to go out and start killing people?
And he wasn't killing people. He was killing pigs.
And scaring people. There is known that some people have been traumatized by this thing. They've gotten rocks thrown at them, twigs, their cars were destroyed.
If you're an old man trying to be a pig, you're gonna throw rocks at people.
No, I don't think they're gonna do nothing. If he did not barely eat anything, he's not gonna be strong enough to even lift anything up.
I don't know. I think he hit his head, and that's why he disappeared. Because they never found a body. They never found a crime scene. They never found any evidence. This kid just disappeared. And then 10 years later is the first sighting?
No, I think it's just something that someone decided to come up with. It's just like an urban legend.
What were some of your questions that you said you...
I don't have any questions.
Or thoughts?
Well, hang on, I gotta turn my page. Oh. Well, not only that he went crazy, they also believed that the devil got a hold of him. And he's possessed. Which, I mean, it's not far-fetched, but that is, like, I feel like everyone blames that now.
Oh, the person's acting crazy. The devil got him. I'm not making fun of that, by the way. Like, I actually do believe in that, but it does seem to be used a lot as an excuse for people acting strange with no real evidence. Maybe not as much anymore. Well, no, still a lot nowadays. But I mean, yeah, the devil, he was out on Halloween doing some mischievous stuff.
So anyways, talking about the UK, that's where I came up, or there's actually not just one Pigman story. There's like quite a bit. There's one in Tennessee, there's one in Texas, there's one in Georgia, and I came across one in the UK. Which there's someone that believes that they were experimenting with gene splicing and it just gone wrong, and that's how they created the Pigman. Which is why I showed you blood and honey.
Which you okay. I get it. Now I get it. Now I get it.
So,
yeah, she made me watch just like a short clip before we started recording this. We're gonna watch both of the movies afterwards, so.
But that's why I was wondering if they got inspiration, like, if they got that part of inspiration to put in Blood and Honey, because that's kind of similar. The scientist kidnapped kids and tried to do gene splicing. It didn't work, and they all came back as
crazy pigmen.
Well, one was a pig. The others are different animals. One's a bear. One's... Which one else did they show? I think they showed the owl.
Oh, you're talking about Blood and Honey. I thought you were talking about the case in the UK.
Anyways. Well, but no, that's not how they got their inspiration. They got it in a different way. But good thinking.
I mean, there has been historical facts or theories that around that time, because this was 1951, I don't know what time the UK one happened, but That's about the time around World War II.
No, that's about the time that the UK's. That's when their thing was.
Right.
Their sightings of
World
pigman
War II was
right after World War II.
And there's theories and myths that the German were gene splicing. I don't know why any of them would be in the United States, but you never know.
Because there's some people that like to think they can change things.
You can't play God. You just can't do it. Nature's always going to come back and kick you in the butt.
And that's why they became killers.
But yeah, I got way too excited about Sam Harris. I read his name and I was like, this sounds cool. What is this guy? And then I started reading into it and I was like, oh, he's an actual pigman. Oh, he's into bestiality. Oh, I shouldn't be excited. It was cool to learn about him, though. It's cool because he's connected to some other stories. So it just makes it a little bit more, wait, there's probably something here, because you can't have the same story in many different places in a time where communication wasn't that big. Like that can't be a coincidence. You know?
Yeah, but they weren't all sighting at the same time.
I know that, but do you see what I'm saying, though?
You're saying it's just off.
Why am I saying off? She's crocheting right now. So this is gonna not make any sense to you guys, but that looks like a beanie. Like, it looks like you're starting a beanie.
Wow. Wow.
So,
I think it's just an urban legend. Kid
Which
just wanted to say, scare others.
Which, coming from her, which you guys will eventually learn, she very much believes in some of this stuff. Not in, oh my god, everything is real, blah, blah, blah. She's not a conspiracy theorist, but she really, like, digs in and she does her research before she's like, that's it, you know?
I do.
She doesn't take anything with a grain of salt. She is very mean in that aspect. You'll understand eventually. So, for her to say it's not real, it's probably not. This is one that I kind of believed in. So that's kind of... Well, I didn't believe in Sam Harris. I believe that kid probably just went missing. He probably stumbled off into the woods, hit his head, died. Got ate by wolves. But it's weird to me that many different places had the same exact story of a pigman. That's my only...
because that's going to simulate to one of my urban legends that I have. But it's funny you say maybe he went missing, because you don't dive into a whole lot of things, but
I dive into things that I find interesting.
Yeah, when you're not watching K-pop.
Okay, we don't have to bring up my love for K-pop.
But...
Stay, carrot over here. If you know, you know.
Gross. She
doesn't like them.
Anyways, there is a book called Missing. I think it's called Missing. Hang on. But it's called 411 Missing, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But it's pretty much about how random people have disappeared. No trace, nothing, no evidence that they even left the place or where they could have gone or anything like that. Some of them never show up. Some of them show up in a completely different location.
It's like that little kid, the Ryder kid, I think his name was Ryder? I don't remember, but he got lost in the woods and his parents couldn't find him for 3 days, and then he showed up again and everybody's like, oh my god, he doesn't look the same! Shell shock, for one. You have no idea what I'm talking about, do you?
Nope.
You'll have to look it up after.
But maybe that's what happened to him. Maybe he got abducted by aliens. I don't know.
Our government.
I mean, I guess they could have abducted him, put him in the war.
Well, this was 1951. The war was over by now.
Well, there's other wars.
I think the next war was the Korean War or Vietnam.
Well, now you gotta look it up.
If you hear weird banging, there's people outside. I don't know what to tell you.
Okay, now if you don't hear that weird banging in there, you're gonna have to edit that out.
Yeah. I probably won't edit a lot. They're gonna hear our raw stuff unless we get off on a tangent. Like, I'm gonna edit out the first part of it out because we were talking. But most of this I'll probably just keep in. We're having a conversation. What war is after World War II? No, I need an actual war, not... Oh my goodness! The Korean War was 1950 to 1953. So he could have been abducted by the U.S. government and put into the Korean War. Because it was 1951.
Boom, pow.
And then the Vietnam War was 1955 to 1975. Why was it so long?
Didn't you learn it in history?
Yeah, I didn't pay attention. I didn't think the Korean War was... I thought...
We can tell you to not pay attention in history.
I love history too. It's just sometimes when people are teaching it to me, I find it boring because of their monotone voice. We talked about this in the first 0 episode that you'll never see because it didn't get recorded.
Our lost file.
The mysterious lost file. But yeah, we can't stand people with monotone voices. Like, add some emotion into your voice, man. But yeah, I thought the Korean War was a lot longer than 1950 to 1953. And I thought it was a lot later, too. I thought it was in the 70s. But no, it was not. So. Interesting.
You learned something new.
I learned something new today. Well, I learned a lot of new things today. I learned about the Pigman. I learned about things about Rhode Island. I'm about to learn things about Oklahoma.
Well, let's dive into the next topic then.
Woo, woo, woo. I promise I won't do that every time. I might do it every time. So do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
I guess I'll go first. I picked 2 different urban legends in Oklahoma, which is Crybaby Bridge.
I've heard of that.
And it's called the Purple Church.
I think I've heard of that.
I think so. What do you think it is?
Isn't it an abandoned town thing?
Nope.
Nope, then I haven't heard of it. Oh my god, that dog needs a shh.
So, what's yours?
Well, I did a list of things that we can talk about. Because I really didn't know, like, what I wanted to talk about. but I think one of them will be Fingernail Freddy, which is the urban legend that inspired a Nightmare on Elm Street. So, we'll talk about that one. We have Mercy Brown. I'm just giving you a list and you can pick the other one because... Okay. Mercy Brown, and I don't know, Exeter vampire whose body allegedly showed signs of life, growing hair and nails after death in 1890. The thing with that, though, is when you die, your hair and your nails do actually grow. They don't grow, it's just your...
I know.
So I don't really... That one's kind of stupid. The Gloucester Ghoul, a fire-breathing cryptoid first reported in the 1800s. We got La Grua, a werewolf-like creature from French Canadian folklore, tied to a legend in Woonsocket. The Devil's Footprints, unique human goat prints at Devil's Foot Rock, tied to a Native American woman and the devil.
Well, the vampire thing is interesting, even though it's fake.
You want to do Mercy Brown?
You can just pick whatever.
So we'll do Fingernail Freddy and Mercy Brown.
Okay. Well, I'll do one, and then you'll do one, I'll do one, and you do one.
Okay.
Okay. So, the Coal Crybaby Bridge. That was something, because I feel like everyone has a crybaby bridge. And you know what? I'm not wrong. Oklahoma has quite a bit in just our state alone. And they're all the same urban legend, which is said that in 1924, a woman and her baby were in a carriage crossing a bridge, and usually this is a part where it kind of like varies differently, but somehow the horse gets scared. The one for Oklahoma is mainly about a storm, and the horse gets scared, throws them off, and they instantly die. Others say that the horse got spooked by something, and the baby flew, and she went to go look for her baby and ended up falling off the bridge. But either way...
This is going to sound so bad. I just had an image of like a horse getting scared, and this woman just like eating her baby. Just like, whoop! Like kangaroos do to their kids when they get scared. They just kind of throw them out. And then she was like, wait, that's mine.
Wow.
Sorry.
Anyways, but I seen when this urban legend started, and it doesn't say specifically when it got started, but it became very popular in the 90s. So I don't know. But there's, as I was doing this research,
I can very much hear Cody's music.
So, Peter's not going to pick it up.
It's just cracking me up, like.
Anyways.
I will stop interrupting.
I don't think you will.
Nope. You know me.
Anyways, so... So, the most famous one is called Boggy Creek. And that's up towards Tulsa. But every time I would go on a new site to see about the Crybaby Bridge, there'd be a new location. So there's a ton of locations. I don't know if they're all true, which one's real, but the most famous one that everyone likes to go to is the Boggy Creek. So, I didn't look too much into it. But the legend is you park your car on the bridge, and if you put, what is it called? Baby powder or flour down, you'll see baby footprints, or you'll see baby handprints in the flour. And, or you'll hear, it doesn't matter, hear a woman scream and cry out for her baby. So,
I was about to say, I don't know what you...
really?
Yeah, we're starting back right up here. There's a weird cut, guys. Sorry.
It's not a weird cut.
It'll be a weird cut.
Well, if you edit right, it wouldn't be a weird cut.
It's gonna be a weird cut because this is my first time ever editing a video, so.
Okay.
But I've heard this story multiple times from TV shows and movies, and this is a very common, oh hey, a woman died on a bridge. You go here, you can hear her scream. It's weird that Oklahoma has one.
No, it's not. I'm surprised you never heard of it.
No. I might have. It might have just gotten lost in my brain vault of all the other ones that I've heard.
Probably. It's your turn.
I thought we were still talking about the boggy bridge.
No, I told you that was it.
So I'm gonna read this, and we'll, I guess, talk about it. A recluse with impossibly long nails, who hunts the woods near summer camps like Camp Curran to terrorize kids who misbehave, often linked with another figure, Hotshot Charlie, with variations involving revenge for burning property or simply disliking noisy children. He is a man, sometimes named Charlie, so he's either Fingernail Freddy or Hotshot Charlie, depending on the story that you listen to. He lives in the woods near Diamond Hill and is described as a hermit. His fingernails are obviously deadly and long because, it's in his name. Fingernail Freddy. I need to watch The Nightmare on Elm Street because I've never actually seen it. So. It dates back to the 1950s. Ah! Another 1950s. You got...
That's usually where most of them take place.
You know!
1950s or the 1940s.
1800s is normally what I hear. Because for some reason people in the 1800s were insane. The thing, though, is that he is just an urban legend. There has never been any documentation of a real person. He's just told around campfires at that camp. To scare the children into... Why do people tell campfire stories at camps? Like, hey, here's this crazy figure that's probably going to come out and murder you. Now go to sleep, little one. Go on, go to bed.
It's because it scares each other. It's to scare each other and to make fun of the ones that get scared.
Well, I will never go to a camp with you because you would scare me. You would make me watch a bunch of horror movies and then be like, Let's go to bed.
I can go to bed watching horror movies.
She does. All of the time. All of the time. That's all I have on that. I didn't do a lot of research this time around.
I know you didn't.
I will do a little bit better on
We'll
our next.
see.
Our next.
We'll see. Okay. That's it.
Yeah. That's all I got. There's not much else.
Okay. Well, my next location is the Purple Church. Try to guess what it is.
Is it a cult?
No.
It's not a cult?
No.
Is it paranormal?
I mean, they said it could be haunted, but
So it's religion based.
yes.
Well, that makes sense because it's a church, Tabitha. I don't know.
It is said, well, first off, this is on private property, so you're not really allowed to go on there. But it became popular about 2010 is what it said. But it is pretty much a satanic church.
You said it wasn't a cult.
That isn't a cult. A cult is where you get together and you're pretty much in that same space all the time. You pretty much live together.
I think of a cult as like demon worshippers trying to well, I guess, never mind. Now that I'm saying out loud, I sound stupid. Just a little.
Anyways.
Moving on.
But the place burnt down and the only thing that was left was the basement stairs, of course the basement, and the concrete slab. And the reason why it's called Purple Church is because they found purple satanic, or what is it called? The pentagrams all over the place.
Huh.
Yeah, that's how it got its name. But watching people go to this place, I mean, it looks a little creepy. And then you have the townspeople that are trying to get you not to go, so they scare you away. But I was watching a video and I should have looked to see when this was uploaded, but I didn't look it up. But the owner of the land was on the video, and they said that they ended up tearing it down. At first, they didn't want people to come. They didn't like the trespassing. They hardly got asked.
That would be irritating, yeah.
Then what was the other thing? Well, then later on in the video, sorry, you're editing that out. In the video, they said that they ended up tearing it down and filling it up with dirt because they got tired of all the people that were trespassing. And
Wait, so if this is privately owned, does that mean that the people who privately owned it were...
No, they claim that that place was a house that they tore down because they didn't want it on their property anymore.
That doesn't make any sense. You're telling me that you have a place on your property with pentagrams and you tore it down?
Do you not realize you can tear something down?
That's
Someone
not
can go vandalize. Like, it doesn't... It's vandalized with spray paint.
I thought you were, like, talking about, like, chalk or something. Which, I know chalk would... You know what? I didn't think you meant spray paint. I didn't think that you meant, like, it was vandalized. So where did the demonic church thing come in? Just because there was pentagrams found?
I don't know, it doesn't say. Because the owner claimed that it was all made up. Nothing that people have been saying is true. And they don't even know where they came up with this in the first place.
Huh. The family is in on it.
I mean, could be, but they tore it. I mean, they got rid of it.
Well, I mean, if people were being like, hey, you're in a demonic church worshiping group, I'd take it down too. So people wouldn't know.
Well, they're not saying that they were in it. They were saying that's what what the building was.
Huh.
But that's it.
There's so many unanswered questions.
Oh yeah, like what?
Why did people say it was a church? Why were there pentagrams? Probably teenage kids, but you know what?
Well, the owner says that they will find dead animals there, so they think that people have tried to do satanic worshipping after.
So there's a grain of truth to the story.
After, because there was nothing there before. Stories started saying, like, became real big, and then it started showing up.
Still so many unanswered questions. I just made eye contact with your freaking poster, which is so creepy that we're talking about demonic things and considering what that poster is. By the way, it is a Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It poster. That is why it is creepy.
It's not that creepy. It shows them on the cover. It doesn't show anything else.
I don't care. I made eye contact with it. I'm talking about demons.
You know what? It'd be funny if you had a nightmare tonight then.
Oh, why would you do that? I would not have nice dreams. Like,
You barely sleep.
that is true. Alright. Well, you have anything else you want to add to this?
No, it's your turn.
Oh, great. I didn't do a lot of research. I was trying to read while she was saying her stuff, but it wasn't working because I had to add some thoughts in. So this happened in 1883 to a family, George and Mary Brown. They had tuberculosis, which is a very bad disease. Like, I don't think tuberculosis is curable in any... I think you get it, you're kind of stuck with it.
No?
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Maybe in 1883 they were stuck with it. Because then they sent them to, like, tuberculosis hospitals where they had, like,
yes,
the sunroofs.
then, yes. Pretty much our COVID was that.
That makes sense. Mary Elise was the first to die of the disease in December of 1883, followed by her eldest daughter, Mary Olive. In 1891, Mercy Leanne Brown and the only son, Eddie, both died. townspeople thought they were vampires and that they didn't actually have tuberculosis, and they were like, Mary became a vampire and she bit her family and then they became vampires.
Wow.
Yeah. The townspeople basically persuaded George to dig up his family. Because at that point, George was the only one alive in his family.
Wow.
Yeah. Mary Elise and Mary Olive showed the expected level of decomposition in the grave that they were in, but Mercy, the vampire, no decomposition, like, at all. And she still had blood in her heart. So, like, liquid blood was still in her heart. And she had been dead for, I guess at this point, weeks, which is weird. So they took out her heart and her liver, and they burned it, because she was undead. And they mixed her ashes with water, and then they gave it to Edwin, because Edwin was still alive. I take it back, not all the family. So they burned this poor girl's liver and heart after she was dead, put it into this weird water paste, and gave it to this boy with tuberculosis who was dying on his bed to cure him of his vampirism.
Interesting.
He died 2 months later.
Well, of course.
Yeah. Well, what remained of her body was buried in a Baptist church. And George never contracted tuberculosis and lived until 1922.
Interesting.
He lived just long enough to see the vaccine for tuberculosis be invented. That is an insult. You watched your entire family die of tuberculosis, had to dig up your dead family's graves because your towns and your neighbor people thought, oh hey, they're vampires. You had to watch them cut your daughter's heart out and her liver, burn it, feed it to your son who died 2 months later, and then got to live just long enough to see the vaccine be made to the thing that killed your family.
I guess.
That sucks! I mean, obviously he doesn't care because he's dead, but that sucks.
I mean, that's with any sickness. Think for the people that died with the flu.
I don't think anybody was cutting out people's hearts for COVID. Not that I heard of, anyway.
Oh no, I'm sure there's serial killers out there.
Probably, yeah. Yeah. Well, they weren't using it as a cure, though. Well, there are some insane people in the world. I don't know. That's so sad. How is that an urban legend? Oh, I guess because they thought they were vampires.
Yeah, that's not a cool urban legend.
No, it was kind of...
See, this is why you need to do research.
Sad. I did a lot of research in our 0 episode.
Well, you should have done more research this time.
I know. But I was busy.
No, you weren't.
They don't need to know that.
You had plenty of time.
Yeah, I had all day today.
Exactly.
I didn't do anything at work. I could have been. So, yeah, that's all I got. You have any thing you want to add on to it?
Yeah, our trivia question.
And we still have to...
And we have to draw for our next episode.
Which, by the way, if you guys want to give us ideas, please do. We'd love that. Because hers are pretty good and mine suck.
You're just more...
I was more literal with it, and she was more flexible with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Trivia question time. So we're doing this thing. Our first episode, we should tell them what the question was. And tell them the funny story.
Well, I'll let you tell the story.
So I don't remember the question, but...
The question is, which cheer cast member's father died in prison while serving 2 life sentences for murder? A. Ted Danson. B. Christy Alley. C. Woody Harrelson. D. Kelsey Grammer.
I was so confident in my answer. I was like, it is not Woody Harrelson, because I would have heard about that, because I like him. Would you like to know what the answer is? It's C. Woody Harrelson. Yeah. So confident. Okay. What's the next question?
Not the next question.
Trivia. Well, what's the question?
Okay, what is the title of the Netflix series based on the life and crimes of Anna Sorkin, also known as Anna Delvey? I'm so sorry if I butchered those. A. My Friend Anna. B. Anna, the Untold Story of German Harris. C. Making a Murderer. D. Inventing Anna.
I'm pretty sure she's the one who, stole all the money. I think it's B. Because I think she was on Dancing with the Stars. In her ankle monitor. I don't think she murdered anybody.
It says what is the title of the Netflix series.
I'm still going with B.
Okay. I'm going with D. Inventing Anna. Ha! I was right! It's D.
What? You don't have to point and laugh.
I do.
Alright. Now we're pulling for the next. Oh my goodness. It's almost at an hour.
Good. Our last one was not.
Okay. Alright, I got it. Oh, I got 2. Oh no, it's one of mine.
Oh, I got one of yours too.
Oh no. What is HM? So we labeled all of them on what?
What does your thing say?
I wanted to know what HM was first before I looked at it.
No, you gotta tell me first.
Hard eyes. Movies! Horror movies!
Oh, yeah.
Because this is the Valentine's one that I thought was going to be weird.
Okay, the abominable snowman lives in Asia. That's what you put.
Well, we're doing the Abominable Snowman and Hard Eyes. So a cryptid and a horror movie.
Yep.
So that means we gotta watch this movie. And it's on Netflix.
Good thing I just got my internet on.
Woo! Well, we still never figured out what our closing.
Nope, we did not.
So
Goodbye and good night.
that was us diving into the deep. We'll come up with something better. Night, guys.